Have we ever thought that a telephoto lens is only for wildlife photography? Today, let's explore how to use a telephoto lens for your landscape photography to make any distant landscape feel close. Most people, when they think about a landscape photo, they think of the epic vista that's taken with your wide-angle lens. Using a telephoto lens for your landscape photography breaks that mold and gives you a few advantages over your wide-angle lens. So I'm going to start off by going through a few benefits of using a telephoto lens for your landscape photography. The first one is probably one of the more important ones, or at least one of the more useful ones that I've found. I did a reel a couple of weeks ago on Instagram about using your zoom on your phone or whatever to take an epic vacation photo. Same concept applies, and actually the concept comes from your telephoto lenses, because when you zoom in on a subject after you've backed off, you actually bring your background and foreground together with your midground a little bit. You get that compression into your scene that helps create the layers that you want, but also make your backgrounds a little bit more epic when combined with your subject. That compression is probably one of the chief reasons why I will use a telephoto lens when taking landscape photography. So by using your telephoto lens, you can take a picture of your subject and be able to bring your midground or background, depending on where your subject is placed, in closer to make it feel more epic with more depth. So the next advantage of this is being able to isolate your subject from your background and midground. You can actually isolate your subject by zooming in on them. Using that compression, you can actually use the atmosphere or a different colored background or a contrasting background or some sort of contrasting pattern to help isolate your subject from the rest of your scene. Doing that with a wide-angle lens, you're not going to achieve that to the same degree as you can with a telephoto lens. So same thing as compressing your scene. If you back off and zoom in, having that larger background and having your background compressed a little bit into your midground, you can use that background to help isolate your subject to have a center-weighted portrait of whatever it is that you're going to take. So the last benefit that I'm going to tell you about with a telephoto lens in your landscape photography is the finer details. Being able to zoom into a distant subject or a distant landscape of any kind, you can help bring out some of the details in that distance as well. So when you're trying to isolate your subject, or if you're trying to compress your scene, being able to bring out the details by zooming in on them helps create impact in your image, because you show more personality of the subject that you're taking. You're showing more interest and intrigue within the subject that you're taking, and possibly even telling the story of that subject a lot better by being able to zoom in real tight on them without losing that background. Now, just because using a telephoto lens is great for your landscape photography does not mean that it is the ultimate solution for all of your photography. There are a few gotchas with this as well. So there is a learning curve that will go with being able to use your telephoto lens versus your wide-angle lens when taking landscape photography, because the more you zoom in, the narrower the field of view is going to get. Whereas a wide-angle lens, you have that, as aptly named in the name, a wide angle of view. So you're going to get more of your landscape than you would with your telephoto, because the more you zoom in, the more narrow that field of view is going to be. The benefit is getting the zoom and being able to get closer to subjects, compressing your scene, but having that narrow field of view, you might lose some items of interest that help frame your photo. So it's going to be a balance, and there's going to be a learning curve in getting to that point. So this is not insurmountable, but like I said, there is a learning curve, so make sure that you're patient with yourself as you're learning this and as you're perfecting your technique with it. So the next caution that I want to give you with using a telephoto lens in your landscape photography has to do with one of my own hobbies that I have. I do a lot of hiking. I know I've talked about it before, but I'll tell you, these bad boys are heavy. All right, that's a lot of weight to have to carry around on your back. And if you're hiking off into the woods, having that extra weight, and I've talked about this before as well, but having the extra weight in your backpack and on your back does aid in sapping some of your energy. So keep that in mind as well. You might have to sacrifice some weight in your pack for other things being taken out to take your telephoto lens with you. There's a lot of glass to haul around with you, and all of that glass is heavy. So be mindful of that when you're going to be taking this out and about. If you're not doing a lot of hiking and you're doing a lot of very static shooting on a tripod somewhere, should be okay. But like I said, if you're going out for a hike, there's a lot of glass to haul around. So make sure that you're prepared to do that. So the last caution that I want to give you about using a telephoto lens in your landscape photography is actually one of my biggest challenges, is being able to use this lens in lower light. So the difference between a wide angle lens and a telephoto lens sometimes is going to mean upwards of a half stop to a full stop of light slower on your telephoto lens than on your wide angle. The difference that makes is as you start getting into lower light scenarios, you may have to bump up your ISO in order to compensate. And what that does is that possibly introduces more noise, possibly introduces camera shake, slowing down your shutter. The challenges there are part of that learning curve that I talked about before. Something definitely to keep in mind, that if you're going to be taking photos in lower light, that the slower aperture of the lens does come into play as a factor. So I hope I haven't scared you away from using a telephoto lens in your landscape photography. I really do believe that the benefits outweigh any challenges that you're going to face when using a telephoto lens over your wide angle lens in landscape photography. So the nice thing is too, is if you have a bag that can support it and you're not going to be carrying it very far, or you can handle carrying it very far, bring both lenses with you. But one of the nice things about using a telephoto lens in landscape photography, and one of the things that I've ended up doing a lot, is I can switch immediately from taking a landscape photo to then chasing a bird or chasing wildlife with the same lens on the camera, just a matter of changing my settings and I'm off and running. So please don't let me scare you away with any of those cautions. I really want you guys to think about them before using the telephoto lens when balancing that against the benefits of doing that, because I really do feel that the benefits do outweigh the cautions that I gave you. The only reason why I'm giving you the cautions is just to make sure that you have all of the information, help get through that learning curve efficiently without much frustration. So be kind to yourself when you are learning, but hopefully this helps you get through that quicker. So thank you very much for joining me on this video. I really do appreciate you coming along. I really do hope that you get out and take some photos with your telephoto lenses. Let me know in the comments below if there are any great photos that you have taken with your telephoto lens. Link your Instagram there if you want. I'll make sure to go check it out and give it a like. And speaking of likes, why don't you give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.